Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to give you just a few more moments before we get started. I hope everyone's had a wonderful afternoon. It finally got sunny here in central Pennsylvania, so hopefully it is nice where you are too. Thank you for taking the time to join us. I'll just give one more moment to anyone who might be joining. All right, welcome. My name is Andrea Castle-Bretz. I'm the Executive Assistant of PACAC, and we are so excited to have you join us for the Keystone Virtual College Exploration. We are an organization, so PACAC stands for the Pennsylvania Association for College Admission Counseling. We are 1,200 members strong. We have high school counselors, college professionals, as well as independent education consultants, all the people who really want you to succeed and find the best post-secondary options. Today's presentation is for Suffolk University, and I will pass it over to Patrick in a moment. A few things just to let you know. Your camera and microphones are off, but you are welcome to ask any questions at any time. There is a box, just type them in. He will answer them as best he can, probably verbally during the presentation. And if for some reason he doesn't get to something, which is not going to happen, I'm sure, he does have your information to email you later. And don't forget, we have a ton of sessions between now and November 6th. So you can look those up at our website, pacac.org/virtual, and the recordings will be there as well. So if you want to look back on this presentation or any others that you may have missed, they will be there. So again, without further ado, I'm going to pass it along.
Awesome, thank you so much. So I'm going to start off by sharing my screen right over here. And I also just want to take this time to say thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to come and learn a little bit more about Suffolk University and really hear what we're all about here at the university. And to really start off the presentation, I'll introduce myself. My name is Patrick Dean. I am one of the admissions counselors here at Suffolk. I mainly cover the state of California, the Southwest, the Midwest, Texas, the South, and some parts of the Mid-Atlantic, especially focusing in Pennsylvania too. And again, just thank you so much for taking time today to learn a little bit more about the university. And I really want to start off by proposing the question of really why Suffolk University? And that's probably what brings you here today, to learn a little bit more about why you want to come to Suffolk. And before I get into my whole spiel and facts and statistics and everything like that, I really want to start off by bringing some of the student perspectives in and why some of our students have chosen Suffolk. So the first student we have right over here is Abby. She is a student who just graduated from our graphic design program last year in 2019. Coming from a small town, Abby was really looking for something new, and she was really intrigued by the city aspect of our campus and our location being in downtown Boston. Our next student right over here is Matthew, going into his junior year, so very exciting time for him, entering the back half of his college experience. He studies environmental science right now, and he chose Suffolk University because of our proximity to the Massachusetts State House and the amount of opportunities available to him through internship and work experience. And finally, we have Morgan, who, just like Abby, just graduated this past May. She was actually one of our former ambassadors, so she was a fantastic while we're here. We hated to see her go, but we're so happy because she's doing amazing things right now. And she graduated with a degree in information systems and marketing. One thing that really drew her to Suffolk University was the idea of the small class sizes and the community that we offered here, but without having her be isolated on a small campus in the middle of nowhere. She really liked this fact that we had that small community while being in the much larger community of Boston all around us. So really you can see the common theme for all of these students is really Boston. And it's why many students choose to come to Suffolk University. Our location is something that adds so much value to your academic and social experience. But we're not the only school in the city. So what really sets us apart and what makes us different? Well, first things first, we're the only university located right in the heart of downtown Boston. So you're absolutely going to be immersed in a fantastic culture of arts, entertainment, dining, sports, and real world experiences. And also, you are going to get a true university experience here. So what do we mean by a true university experience as opposed to just going to college and just getting your academics? Well, for starters, we have more than 70 undergraduate programs across two schools in the College of Arts and Sciences and the Sawyer School of Business. Between those two schools, we have just under 5,000 undergraduate students on campus. In our graduate school, we have 1,000 students, and in our law school, we have another 1,000 students. So our total campus population is just about 7,000 students, and our undergraduate population is just about 5,000 students. Not only do we have all these course offerings, but we also mean we have access to interdisciplinary courses and resources that cross boundaries between those schools. So for example, if you happen to be a graphic design major in the College of Arts and Sciences, you have the opportunity to take a couple classes, get a minor, or even a double major in something like marketing, as a lot of designers make their living in marketing. Here, you can really build your curriculum that makes sense for your goals. Another part of the true university experience is we mean we have 19 NCAA Division III teams on campus, all from baseball, basketball, golf, ice hockey, soccer, you name it, we probably have it. Right over here is the East Boston Sports Complex. We have our fields. That's the Ridgeway Gymnasium right there for our basketball games. And this is probably one of my favorite pictures. Our team actually got to scrimmage on the ice during Frozen Fenway. So that's where they take Fenway Park, slap a hockey rink right in the middle of it, freeze it over, and invited some local college teams in the area to actually go and play on the ice. It's a really fantastic opportunity for our team, and I was so glad they got to go there. So right now is actually a very exciting time for athletics. We are moving into the Commonwealth Coastal Conference, which is going to be a little bit more competitive for us. Our men's indoor track and field team won the GNAC championship last year in our old conference, and I believe our women's soccer coach Ashley actually won the Coach of the Year that year. So our coaches have been regularly winning Coach of the Year. Our student athletes have some of the highest GPAs in their conference, so they're really performing just as well in the field as they are in the classroom too. I'm the athletics liaison for the admissions department. So if you all have any questions for me whatsoever about athletics, please, please, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. Just to shift back to academics for a little bit, we have 11 accelerated master's programs. So here you can really get a head start on a master's degree and complete a BS or BA to an MS or MA in a total of 5 to 6 years. Or you can even try out our 6-year law degree working with our law school faculty and advisors while you're still an undergraduate student here. Here at Suffolk, we really want you to be thinking about your future as a whole when you begin your journey, not just your chosen major, your first year, or what classes you're going to be taking next semester, but your undergraduate experience as well as the opportunities to attend graduate school and law school as a whole. And really, here we offer an education that takes full advantage of the city around us. Suffolk classes regularly venture outside the classrooms into all the different companies and civic organizations, government offices, and everything else that surrounds our campus for a hands on learning experience with real world working professionals. To give some examples of this, we actually have one of our students over here, Olivia, who produces a segment called Suffolk in the City with NECN, which is the New England Main News Channel. It's actually shot in our own TV studio called Studio 73 or on location all throughout the city. So she's actually being broadcast on the nightly news in New England all throughout the region. Or we have an opportunity that I definitely am going to take advantage of next year. Some of our students actually running a tax prep clinic to help out some of our staff members, faculty members, and international students file their taxes. I paid way too much money to have a bunch of different websites file my taxes this year, so I'm definitely going to take advantage of our students and have them help me out next year. Or we have some of our marketing majors doing actual market research and strategy consultation with businesses right in downtown Boston. Putting their skills and knowledge to work like this as they learn not only enhances the learning process, but it really builds the confidence of our students and provides practical experience so they can start laying the groundwork for a career before they even graduate. And really, to build on this, 4 credit internships are a vital part of the courses at Suffolk University, and our students are perfectly situated to take advantage of all of them, whether being just a short walk or even tea right away. Here's just a short list of some of the organizations where Suffolk students have interned before. And again, it's really our location that makes this all possible because many of these employers are our next door neighbors. They know Suffolk University, they know our students, and they know what they're going to get with our students. They're going to get people who are competent, hardworking, and ready for a challenge, and students who are eager to learn by doing. Another great thing about being downtown is that many of our alumni end up working just right down the block from us. That means that we have networking and mentorship opportunities just down the block as well. Plus, a lot of those successful alumni find it extremely easy to come back to campus and really work as guest speakers, presenters, and mentors for our current students. We're so fortunate enough to be in the middle of Boston, so why wouldn't we take full advantage of these opportunities to enhance the experience that our students can get here? But truly, here's the crazy thing. You have all of these opportunities, but you don't have to sacrifice your identity for them. Right now, we have a student faculty ratio of 15 to 1 and an average class size of just about 21 students. So you're never going to be sitting in the back of a 300-person lecture hall where your professor doesn't even know your name, answering on a clicker, and you're just a face in the crowd. Your professor is going to get to know your name, know your learning style, and know your goals and aspirations. So they can know how to best help you out and achieve your goals and link you up with actually professionals in their field that they know to help you with that. Although we do have the role of teacher's assistants, it is just that, a teacher's assistant. Your courses are never going to be taught by TAs, and all your classes are going to be taught by Suffolk faculty members. So here at Suffolk, you really have the best of all possible worlds. All of the resources of a university combined with all of the opportunities of a city, where you're going to be a name instead of a number. And that's an extremely unique position to be in. And now you know a little bit more about Suffolk University's unique position in the world. The next natural question is going to be, that's great, but what else do you have? And honestly, there is so much more that we have here, and there truly is a world of involvement. Coursework is obviously going to be the keystone of any education, but it's not the only aspect of going to college. There are so many other things to get involved at here at Suffolk that will really expand your horizons and help you hone some adaptive skills such as communication, teamwork, and leadership that are all absolutely critical to success no matter what field you go into and no matter what area you focus in. To start, we have just over 100 clubs and organizations between those that are going to be run by students and those that are assigned to professional advisors. Here's just the tip of the iceberg to give you the idea of the range of activities that we offer here. If you have an interest, academic or otherwise, chances are there's going to be an on-campus group that shares that same interest as you. It's one of the easiest ways to meet new friends who are on your same wavelength, and really, no matter what you're into, you're going to have a common interest here with someone on campus. I believe right now the number one club is the Student Government Association, and the number two is Video Game Army. They flip flop all the time. It's two great ones to get involved in. One of my favorite days on campus is our engagement fair. So it's right after convocation where students are welcome to, or commencement, or convocation when students are welcome to the university. And then they go and all of the clubs are set up there. Students, and especially the first year students, can really start getting involved and start talking to the clubs. This for me is kind of the day where all of the students start to come out of their shells, start to be a little bit more confident on campus, start making friends, start talking. And honestly, I love to see that because that was my experience in college too. I was so shy coming in, but my engagement fair was when I started to come out of my shell, get involved in clubs. So it's so great for me to walk through campus and see students getting that same experience too. To talk a little bit more about involvement here, there are so many different ways that Suffolk universities help make the world a better place. I've said time and time again throughout this presentation already that the city of Boston offers our students so many opportunities and so many resources. So we want to give everything that we can back to the city. Our students have done 20,000 hours of community service, and community service is something that is written right into our mission statement and something that we are extremely passionate about. And all of this involvement can happen through classes, through some of our 20 service learning courses that we have here, through our Center for Community Engagement, through some of the student groups that I just talked about with the different clubs and organizations, or it can even happen just on your own. If you're passionate about your ideals, we don't want to make you wait until you graduate to start making a difference. And here we offer so many activities that you won't find anywhere else. For example, we have our Journey Leadership Program, which takes students on team building experiences, not just around the city of Boston, but all throughout Washington, D.C., Florida, and even down to Barbados. We also have alternative winter and spring break available for our students that go even further than this. For example, a couple years back, we actually sent our students down to Cambodia to work with Habitat for Humanity. We feel so strongly about the benefits of these programs that we offer them to little or even no cost to many of our students. And I can tell you firsthand as a student who recently graduated from college, These opportunities do not pop up all the time to take these trips at such a minimal cost. It's probably my biggest regret from my time as an undergraduate student was I didn't take advantage of these. So my biggest thing whenever I'm talking to a student, the bare minimum that you should do for yourself is look into some of these travel opportunities because you'll never know when you're going to get those experiences again. And I'm going to build on that in just a little bit too. To talk a little bit more about our campus makeup and really the worldview that we offer, and really the perfect backdrop of the city of Boston for us. Because Boston itself has people that come from all over the world and all over the country to live and work in the city. And the Suffolk community is built the exact same way, coming from people from all over the world and all over the country as well. Right now, 19% of our student population is made up of international students, which makes us the third highest percentage in the entire country. And with that, there are more than a dozen cultural affinity organizations here at Suffolk University, all run by students, all offering welcoming spaces, and all promoting and sharing all the unique qualities that all of our students bring to our community. And our students themselves span the spectrum of race, gender identity, sexual orientation, political persuasion, income level, and nationality. It's a community that really makes perfect sense in a multicultural international city like Boston. A very natural fit and one that helps prepare every single one of our students for life in a world that is going to be built the same way, filled with different backgrounds, perspectives, and ideas. And speaking of that broad worldview, here at Suffolk, we're very well known for opening up the world to our students through travel and study opportunities that span the globe. To start talking about this, I'm going to start with some of more than our 50 partner institutions all throughout the world in dozens of countries, all located in Europe, Asia, Latin America, and beyond there. These partner universities offer a traditional study abroad experience where you go to a partner university for maybe a semester or two and work there, and then you transfer the credits when you come back. Sometimes that might not fit into a student's schedule, or that might not be what a student exactly wants to do. So don't be afraid, we still have additional travel opportunities for you. So maybe you want to study abroad for just a semester. You can join a week-long faculty-led study tour, or you can take a course that involves a travel seminar that also just lasts 1 week too. Or you can take advantage of some of the opportunities that I previously mentioned, like our Journey Leadership program and our alternative spring and winter breaks. The students who participate in these programs and travel abroad really do return with life-changing experiences, and I've said time and time again, this has helped develop them as humans and really develop who they are. And probably one of the most unique opportunities that we offer is actually on our very own campus located in Madrid, Spain. At Suffolk, you have the option of starting your college education in Madrid and studying there for up to 2 years. You also have the chance to do a traditional semester or two, or even just a summer program there. If you study international relations, you can actually spend all 4 of your years in Madrid. Although all the classes are going to be taught in English, you are absolutely going to be exposed to the Spanish language and the Spanish culture. With that, your travel opportunities are going to multiply as well, with so many optional guided tours that are going to take you all throughout the city and all throughout different locations in Spain. Finally, Madrid is home and the destination of our Global Gateway program. This is probably the easiest and least expensive way to spend spring break in Europe, and it's open to every single one of our Suffolk first year students in their spring semester. Again, going back to what I said before, you never know when these opportunities are going to pop up again. To have the option to have pay one flat rate, and you get your flight, your housing, your food, all for a week during your first spring break and spend it in Madrid. Even if you're on the fence about the Madrid campus and it might be something that you're considering, take advantage of our Global Gateway program to spend the week at Madrid and see if it's something that fits you. If you absolutely fall in love with the Madrid campus and you come back, then you can start your sophomore year, going your entire sophomore year, or even your first sophomore semester at the Madrid campus. So absolutely at least look into the program and just try to take advantage of it. Because again, you never know when those opportunities are going to pop up. So I covered everything that you can basically do here and what makes Suffolk unique from your time in academics to your time in outside activities too. But it's very, very important to think about where you're going to end up and what the end results are going to be. So where are you going to be when you graduate? Well, first things first, you're going to be in pretty good shape. 99% of our students are working or pursuing graduate studies within a year of their graduation, and 90% of our students are employed in employment relevant to their career goals. So right there, we're setting our students up for success and making sure they're going into fields that they actually wanted to go into and they planned on going into. Everything really plays into that, from all of the opportunities that we have with experiential learning, hands-on work with faculty and staff, and really our trademark focus on practical real-world learning and helping our students be so uncommonly prepared for what comes next. Suffolk alumni are extremely well known for making their voices heard in government, public service, media communication, finance, entrepreneurship, and all of the arts. And our alumni field is growing every single day. And like I said earlier in the presentation too, they find it extremely easy to come back to campus and help out our students, mentor our students. Who knows, that internship you might have gotten that leads to a job was maybe because you met with one of our alumni one day at one of our RAM family sessions. So always reach out to our alumni. They're one of the best resources we have on campus. And our alumni move on from the university with all of the maturity, interpersonal skills, and real world experiences to start making immediate contributions to an organization right away. And our students are ready to hit the ground running in a professional environment. There is so much about the Suffolk experience that that results in all of these outcomes, ranging from mentorship of faculty, mentorship of staff, and mentorship of alumni too. But the one resource that I haven't talked about yet is the Career Development Center. So basically, from your first day on campus all the way years and years and years down the road when you decide to retire, you're going to have all the expertise of our career development staff ready to help you advance your career. They connect students with credit bearing internships. They bring employers to campus for job fairs and networking events that we host. They offer one on one career counseling to help you figure out what field you want to go to and how best to approach getting into that field, resume assistance, and our own proprietary job search tools as well. Like I said, all of these resources are going to be available for you, not just during your time here as a Suffolk University student, but your entire career. So say even 20 years down the road, you're going for a job change, you're moving companies, you want that promotion, come back to us. We're going to help you with that resume, we're going to help you with that interview, and we're going to help counsel you through that. So it's really going to be a resource that helps you out throughout your entire time here. I can tell you firsthand too, from what I've seen from our students, they know their fields like the back of their hands. They've learned it all in the classrooms and they've learned it through their experiential learning. But the next step is you have to convince employers and organizations that you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about. So going to the Career Development Center helps you finish out that last piece right there and really helps you finish and become a complete student and really let companies know that you know what you're talking about and convince them of that, whether it be through your resume and your cover letter, how you do your interview, and everything else in there. If you don't go to the Career Development Center at least once during your time here, I can guarantee you you're doing a disservice to yourself. Please utilize this phenomenal resource that we have because employers love to see this. And employers themselves, especially those in Boston, love to hire Suffolk University graduates because in many cases they know them already. Maybe they've hired them as interns, they met them at some of the job shadowing programs or through the job fairs that we host, different networking events. Maybe they went to the company for a class as part of a consultation project, or maybe they met them through some of the alumni that we have too. In a sense, all of these organizations are really an extended part of the Suffolk University community, and they really play a crucial role in all of our students' success and education. A big chunk of the real world is woven right into the fabric of Suffolk University, and it really helps students make the smoothest transition possible from college to career. And Suffolk University really is an experience that gets you into the action of the city and the world that doesn't make you wait. But at the same time, we're going to provide you all of the resources that you need to make differences in ways that are going to be meaningful and important to you. We've been doing this for just over a century now, enabling students to make meaningful contributions to the world, regardless of where they may come from, who they may know, what they may look like, or what their financial resources may be. And we want to see what you can bring to the table and what you can make yourself at Suffolk University. So, I covered everything that you can do here academically, socially, and all of the outcomes. Now I think it's important to backtrack a little bit and talk about some immediate next steps that you can do and what's going to be coming up in your near future as high school students. First things first, I got some application deadlines listed right here. Our early action is going to be November 15th. It's early action, not early decision. and we have regular decision coming up on February 15th. When you submit an application, it is very important to know that we take a holistic review of the application. So we're not just looking at your grades and test scores, stamping yes or stamping no, and pushing it down the line. We do take time to read your essay, read your letters of recommendation, look at all your activities. What classes are you taking? Are you taking those honors classes? Are you taking those AP classes? We really want to see students challenge themselves, push themselves, and be involved too, because that's something that we expect while you're here. While you're taking your academics, we want you to be involved on campus and involved in the community around us. So if you can demonstrate that in high school, we love to see that. When you're submitting your application, we are SAT and ACT optional. So if you don't feel like your test scores represent who you are as a student, you do not need to submit them to us. You don't have to do any additional essays or short answer questions, and you can still get the top scholarship. You can still get into the honors program. It will not hold you back or affect your application negatively in any way, shape, or form. If you do decide to submit your test scores, you absolutely can, but you can actually self-report your scores too. So there, instead of sending it through College Board, you can actually send me a PDF or the admissions office a PDF of your test scores, and we can accept it that way, just to save you all a little bit of money and a little bit of time there too. When I'm looking at a standard application, I usually see a GPA of about a 3.2 to a 3.3. If students submit their test scores, I see usually about an 1100 for the SAT and about a 21 for the ACT. Like I said before, when talking about the Madrid campus, you can either apply directly to Suffolk University Madrid or Suffolk University Boston. It just depends on where you want to start your academic journey. And when you submit the application, you're going to be considered for one, admission into the university. You're also going to be considered for admission into the honors program. You're also going to be judged on what type of merit-based aid you're going to get. There is no separate application. Every application is automatically considered for merit aid, and if students are going to need any language-based programs. There are also additional ways to be admitted to the university. For example, we have our SU Advantage program. So this is where we take students who maybe had a down semester or a down year, but they show a ton of potential. We want to accept them into the university and give all of these students the resources they need to make this successful transition from high school to college. Many of our students who have gone into the Suffolk University Advantage program have gone on to do phenomenal things with themselves, both in their undergraduate time, postgraduate studies, and even their career field too. So it's definitely a program I'm very passionate about. To talk a little bit about financial aid, obviously freshmen are going to be, obviously everyone's going to be considered for financial aid. And like I said before, all applications are automatically considered for merit-based aid. So we have two tools that can help you out with this. One, we have the net price calculator. All colleges and universities who participate in the federal financial aid system are required to have this tool on our website. This is where you put in some basic financial information and we can give you what your need-based package might look like. So this can give you your net price of what that aid is minus the total cost. Also, a little bit more specific to us, we have a merit scholarship estimate too, which helps determine the aid that you can get based on your academic achievements. And here are some important deadlines to keep in track. You only need to fill out one form for us, the FAFSA, or the free application for federal student aid. The FAFSA is free to fill out, so don't go to any websites that are asking you to charge you for it. Just go to fafsa.gov. That's the only one we require, so you don't have to do the CSS profile or anything like that too. And again, please make sure to use the merit scholarship estimator and the net price calculator too, just to get a good idea of what it's going to look like to attend Suffolk University cost-wise. So that's everything that I have in my presentation. I would love to take this time now. I'm actually going to swap my share for us all real quick once I go back to the screen. And I'm actually going to open up our virtual tour. So this is a good view of what our campus looks like. And at this time too, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to type them in the question and answer box. I'll go through and show some key sites on campus, but if I do see a question pop up, I'll take some time and absolutely address it for you. But just to talk about some things that I was showing on the presentation, right over here is 73 Tremont Street. That's like the main building we have on campus. And right over here is Studio 73. So that's where we have our own TV studio on campus where they're producing segments like Suffolk in the City and doing everything else like that. We are an extremely urban campus. So this is the picture of part of downtown Boston. And you can see right over here, these are some pictures of our library. So while we are located downtown, right in the middle of the hustle and bustle of the city, we still offer some great places for our students to kind of get away from that, go to some nice quiet areas and some nice areas to sit down and take their own time to study too. That's actually the building right over here. That's the Massachusetts State House with the Golden Dome right there. And that's the Boston Common too. So you can see we're not a traditional college by any stretch of the imagination with buildings all surrounding a quad, very enclosed. We're very much integrated into the city, and you can see that with 10 West and Modern Theater right over here, actually located right in the middle of the theater district. So these two banners are our buildings. Everything else is the city of Boston itself. So right over here, you have the Paramount Theater and the Opera House. When this picture was taken, they had Aladdin coming in during that time. So our students could easily just walk right out their residence halls and gain that experience to go there. Or you could be walking down the street one day, seeing Sargent Hall, which hosts a number of graduate classes and also home to our law school and law library. If you've also ever seen the movie The Departed, part of it was actually shot right over here on the top floor. That's just a little fun fact that I like to throw out. And who knows, one day you might be walking down the street and a Boston sports team wins a championship. So your classes are going to get canceled because they're going to take the duck boats and all the trucks right down the middle of our street. And our students can go out and really have that opportunity to celebrate with the city and just get engaged with the city too. Probably my favorite day to be in the city is on Marathon Monday on Patriots Day. It's one of the best places to go. Again, that's a day where we don't hold any classes for students just because getting into the city is almost impossible with everything going on. One of my favorite things to do in the city is I love going to the Fenway Park area. I was actually just talking earlier. I've never been inside Fenway Park during my time here. I'm a lifelong Massachusetts resident, so I know that's horrible for me. But I absolutely love going down to the Fenway Park area, walking around there, and really getting engaged with the city, especially on Marathon Monday. And some of our students just get phenomenal views of the city too from the top of their residence hall, whether it be in this nice corner room right over here overlooking Cambridge and the Massachusetts State House, or just standing at the top of the building and just getting this absolutely beautiful skyline shot of the city of Boston right behind us, the Charles River right in the back, and some great historical sites all around us too, with the Granary Burying Ground right over here. That's where Paul Revere, Ben Franklin, and Sam Adams are all buried. And then right over here, One Court Street, which is the newest residence hall we have on campus. It's kind of funny to call it the newest residence hall because it's actually one of the oldest buildings in the city of Boston. It was the very first skyscraper ever built way back in 1893. Right over here, it's located right next to the old Massachusetts State House where we have the seal where the Boston Massacre happened right over there. And the rooms have these beautiful, beautiful, huge arching windows right over here. So it's a really great place for students to live. So that's pretty much our campus in a nutshell right over there. I am going to once again change my screen to show my contact information with that lovely picture of me right next to me before I got these new glasses here. If you have any questions whatsoever, please, please, please feel free to email me at pdean2@suffolk.edu. I'm here to help you out as much as I possibly can and answer any questions I possibly can. I see we got no questions in the question and answer box. So one question that students usually ask me that I like to address is what is your biggest piece of advice when applying to college? And for that, I usually have two big pieces of advice. Piece number one, you need to get the feel for the campuses that you're going to. Now more so than ever, that is difficult with everything going on with coronavirus. So the best thing that you can do is talk to students. Take advantage of virtual opportunities. If you can go to the campus and you feel safe going to the campus, go to the campus and check it out. If you don't feel safe going to the campus, your safety absolutely comes first. So don't come to campus if you don't feel comfortable doing it. That's exactly the approach we took with our students this year too. If students wanted to come to campus, they absolutely could, and they're living in single rooms. All of our students are getting tested twice a week. I go in every Thursday, I get tested every Thursday, and we're really tackling this together as a entire family and really addressing the coronavirus crisis as a family too, and making sure our students' comfort and safety is absolutely addressed. Because comfort is key when you're going to class. If you're on a campus where you're not comfortable walking around, you're not comfortable with who you are on that campus, and you're not comfortable with the environment, no, it could be the best school in the world, you might not be successful there. Comfort is absolutely key. So find a school that's going to be a great academic fit and a great personal fit for you as well. And my other key piece of advice, please, please, please utilize your admissions counselors like me. You can see it right there in my title. I'm an admissions counselor. I take the counselor part of my job very seriously. My job here is to help you through the admissions process as best as I possibly can. I'm here to help coach you through that admissions process, answer questions you might have about the application. And my goal at the end of the day is I want you to get into the university. I never want to turn a student away. I never want to deny a student. That's my least favorite day on campus. I want to accept every single student, and I want to give every single student the best possible chance to get into Suffolk University. So please, please, please utilize me and other admissions counselors to help you through this journey. We've done it time and time before, and we're here to do it with you again. So that's basically everything that I have about Suffolk University. I am going to stop my share, say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to either watch this live or watch the recording in the evening, and I'm going to pass it back to StriveScan.
All right, thank you so much. Just a few quick things here. At the end of the presentation, there is just a 4-question survey. We appreciate any and all feedback. Don't forget, there are more sessions between now and November 6th, so you can go to that same website you signed up for this session, pacac.org/virtual. And as Patrick said, you can find the recording of tonight's session as well as all of our session at that same website, pacac.org/virtual. So again, thank you to Patrick for presenting. Thank you to all of you for joining us, and have a wonderful evening.